Religious leaders in Nigeria have expressed concern over the high rate of corruption and cybercrime in the country, calling on government at all levels to partner with them to curb the menace. The role of religious leaders in combating corruption and cybercrime in Nigeria, which was the theme for the 2024 first quarter meeting of the Nigerian Interreligious Council, NIREC, provided an opportunity for both religious and traditional leaders to deliberate on ways of better collaboration with government agencies to fight corruption and cybercrime in the country. CTV's Tony Abba sent in this report.
According to Transparency International, Nigeria ranks 145 out of 180 in Corruption Perception Index globally and 5th position in World Cybercrime Index. Worried by this narrative, religious leaders are calling on government to partner with them and the traditional institution to stem the tide of corruption and cybercrime in Nigeria. The Nigerian Interreligious Council, NIREC, during her first quarter meeting held in Abuja, focused on the role of religious leaders in the fight against corruption and cybercrime in Nigeria.
We have therefore invited the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the chairman of Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC. Even though cybercrimes have different laws and regulations from one country to another, our speakers would enlighten us on how religious leaders would collaborate in covering and preventing cyber threats and combat cyber criminals in their various evangelism.
Declaring the meeting open, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, expressed concern about the high rate of cybercrime among Nigerian youths.
Most worrisome today, distinguished leaders, is the maturing but infamous rise in cybercrime among our youths on various technology platforms. The cancer of cybercrime is fast spreading globally with devastating consequences. These include rise in terrorism, illicit monetary flow, ritual activities to acquire riches, modern slavery, and human trafficking, destruction of economic systems through hacking, destruction of moral values through pornography, and what have you. The institutional battle to fight the cybercrime has been through the EFCC, ICPC, the police, associated technology-based efforts, and the judiciary. It's a national race and the rising cybercrime activities. I urge you to deploy your moral, religious, and traditional knowledge and authority to come up with strategies that will help the government to tackle them. Your partnership is important because all Nigerians align with you in every position you occupy. Finally, worthy leaders, it is now my honor and privilege to declare the first meeting of NIREC for Q1 2024 open and to wish you fruitful deliberations.
The co-chairman of NIREC, Alhaji Saad Abubakar, and Archbishop Daniel Oko are worried that despite our religiosity, corruption is still prevalent in Nigeria.
Why is corruption not leaving us in Nigeria? Because we are concerned about Nigeria. I think we need to find out. We need to commission a study to find out why we are always beleaguered with corruption. Everybody who comes to your office, they get rich overnight, and when you leave office, they become a multi-billionaire with private planes and whatever. And then nobody bothers to find out how he made that money. And he becomes a big man, and so what happens. So why corruption persists? Me, I believe, based on the books I have read of my forefathers, especially Sultan Muhammad Bello was the first Sultan of Sokoto, against a leader who thinks he owns the state as his personal property. Is there any school? Don't think you own the state as a personal property. To give to whom you want, to deny whom you don't want. Because you are there as a keeper. You are there to serve people, not people to serve you. And I think it's important for us to now look at why we just do what they want to do. Once you are in the office, you do whatever you want to do. Nobody checks you. Nobody tells you you are wrong. Make amendments. After 7 years, after 8 years or 4 years, it depends on how good you are in manipulating the office. After 4 years or 8 years, you leave. The office remains. And I will say, as a soldier, as a military man, soldiers come, soldiers go, barracks remain. As a young officer, I used to say this every time. For you to know nothing is permanent. And as major leaders, we should know nothing. Capital letters, nothing is permanent. We will only this project work, whether we like it or not, and we'll work with nothing. So,
on behalf of the Council, I welcome them to this first quarterly meeting, and I pray that God will prosper their works. Finally, I call on my fellow religious leaders to join hands in this important fight. Today, we can make a difference and build a more just and ethical society for future generations.
The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, and the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, in their separate submission, called for collaboration between the agency and religious leaders to fight corruption and cybercrime.
In fact, from the savannah in the north to the rainforest in the south, our nation is blessed with abundant natural resources. We also have some of the brightest human beings on planet Earth. What should concern us is why these resources, both material and human, has not translated into wealth for our nation. And the obvious answer is corruption. Corruption is also what is driving our young people to embrace cybercrime. Because when we interact with them, what they tell is that they don't have opportunities. Jobs are not there, and so they have to find crooked ways to make it. We live in a country where most public officers see public office as an opportunity for accumulation of wealth. The focus is what can I get for myself and my family. It does not matter if the rest of the society wallow in endless penury.
In the case whereby the corporation was convicted, it was so disheartening because the videos are so graphic that no person, even if somebody doesn't have religion, cannot ask his students to take picture and videos of herself and send to him just because she or he promised to give her grades, 6 or 8. So it's not only you. If there is those who are not renewed that are engaged in the issue of cybercrime, and also recently we are investigating a case whereby in one of the institutions, some youth manipulates the website of one of the educational agencies and even gave admission to people without having the requirements, which has far reaching. Some of them have invested for long in the universities, and now it was discovered that they got admission in the tertiary institution without the requisite criteria. And also, we discovered that those working in the tertiary institutions, they are the ones that help in accessing illegally the server of the institutions and also to manipulate the maps and also to give.
Experts believe that for Nigeria to win the war against corruption and cybercrime, government must be seen to be sincere in her fight against these two monsters. In Abuja, Tony Abba, CTV News.